Feds come in pairs like butt cheeks. Oh, that Frank Castle. Oh, hello Star Wars fans and toy fanatics, Steve here with you, and welcome back friends. Hope everybody's doing well, and thank you very much for spending a little time with me again today. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. We're going to do some figures, or action figures, based on some comic books. Now these figures have been in my collection for quite some time, and I've really wanted to do this video for a little while, and finally had the time to share these with you guys. Now most of these figures or comic books I really don't know too much about. I have a little bit of information, but not too much. I'm sure a lot of you guys that are into comics would probably know a lot more than I do, but nonetheless still very cool figures, and I'm just glad I could share these with you today. So we got a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm gonna get right into it. Starting off with Crimson. Now Crimson is a comic book based on like a horror fantasy type thing, maybe a little bit of supernatural, vampires and stuff, you know. Very, very cool. This is Lyseth, and this line, she is actually a queen of all monsters, which is very, very cool. Nice figure, nicely detailed, and not too much on posability, but you know, pretty cool figure. Just get a shot of you there. Sorry about the glare. Look at the back here for you. Here's a little bit of her text here if you want to read a little bit more about Lyseth there. Very, very cool. Unfortunately, I don't have all these figures. I am missing Alex, is probably the main protagonist in this series, but I do have these other three, which will show it to you very, very quickly. And you know, I just want to say they're actually very, very cool figures. You know, as far as the story goes, I'm not really too sure. I can't really comment too much on that. But the action figures are very, very cool, and highly enjoy these guys. This is Scarlet X here. She is, let's see what she is. She is the most fiercest and most dangerous demon hunter in the American East Coast. There's a little bit more of the text if you want to read a little bit more about Scarlet X there. And very cool figure. I knew there's a couple of reasons why I like this figure a lot, and I'll let you figure that on your own. But an awesome looking figure, nicely detailed, and looks great in the package. One of my favorites from this line is probably this figure right here, is this Joe the Indian, or Jose, or just Joe. Now this guy is half Mexican and half Navajo. Actually kind of like a lot of my friends. A lot of people that hang around on the street look just like this guy. Anyway, all jokes aside, it's a very cool looking figure. Nice detail on the tattoos and stuff. Just overall really cool looking. Actually, this guy is a vampire with a heart of gold, as they say. And again, I really don't know too much of his backstory, but seems like a really cool character. Nicely detailed as far as his outfit is concerned, and again, looks like a lot of guys that hang around here. Anyway, moving right along, we have Fathom here. Now Fathom is, I believe, somewhat related to Witchblade. I'm not really too sure on that, but I think her story is more or less she's a, was she an abandoned child or something like that, or I'm not too sure, but I know she's got some kind of aquatic powers and stuff, kind of like an aqua woman, if you will, I suppose. Again, I am not really that knowledgeable on this comic, but you know, the figure itself is actually pretty cool. She does come in her well, not much of an outfit there, but nonetheless still very, very cool. Also comes with a pretty cool little hammerhead accessory, which is different, I suppose, and I believe that's her weapon. I'm not too sure, but again, I'm sure a lot of you guys that are into comic books probably know all about this figure here. Let me take a look on the back here. There's a couple of the figures that I do have as well. These guys are actually I have loose somewhere in my toy box somewhere. And those guys are from Witchblade, which is another comic book. And there's a little bit of the text there if you want to read a little bit more about Fathom. And very, very cool. Moving right along, we're going to take a look at Lady Death, another awesome figure. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable on the comic. I know there's several different versions of her. Medieval Lady Death, and there is another one, I believe. And I think this is actually a spin-off character to another comic called Evil Ernie. And she actually gained quite a bit of popularity in the mid-90s. I remember seeing this figure all over the place for quite some time. I actually haven't seen too much of her lately. I do have a DVD movie that was she's involved in, but it was not too memorable. I guess it wasn't really that good, but she does have some kind of DVD out if you're interested in looking for something more on Lady Death. Very cool figure and nicely detailed, and she does come with the sword stand and all those little goodies there. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. And I know there's a reason why I really like this figure. I just can't figure. Oh yeah, Anyway, I do have the Cremator figure as well. We'll get to nextly or next. And there's a couple other figures that came out in this line. This is from Chaos Comics. This is Evil Ernie here, which reminds me a lot of the Iron Maiden mascot Eddie. It's a lot like him, and seems like a pretty cool comic. Maybe one of these days I have to go and check that out. Lady Death there. We also have Cremator, or Cremator, whatever, you know. I just thought this was a pretty cool looking figure as well. Not too much on the posability, but actually just looks very cool. It does come with the sword, battle axe, and a stand. And again, I wish I could give you more information on his backstory, but I really don't know anything too much about this guy. I just thought it was a cool looking figure, and that's why I purchased him. Same back as the Lady Death figure, so we'll forgo most of that there. Next up is Kabuki. Now this is another figure I have know nothing about her comic. The only reason I got the figure is probably because I thought the figure was very cool and came with some really cool accessories. You got, you know, katana, some nunchucks there, some kind of, I don't know what you would call that. Some kind of guillotine-esque weapon, maybe. A couple of handguns, multiple hands, grappling hook, and of course the figure itself is very finely detailed. Again, I really don't know too much about the backstory about this figure, but if I ever do get the chance, I might have to look her up and see what's really going on with this figure as far as her backstory is concerned. Take a look at the back of the box. Now this is loaded with lots of text. I hope that's going to be in focus for you guys and get that really for you. If you want to pause and read that stuff and find out more about this character. Nice shot of her on the back. Just an awesome looking figure, and now that I'm really looking at it, I need to go Google this and find out a little bit more about this Kabuki, see if it's any cool. But the figure is pretty cool. Next up is Danger Girl. Now this is probably a cross between if you took Indiana Jones, James Bond, Baywatch, mix it all together, you probably would get this comic book. As far as I know, anyway. The reason why I got the series is mainly for this guy, Major Maxim. Now I just thought this figure just looked totally cool, man. I'm a big Wolfenstein video game fan, so this guy looks like he's straight out of the video game, even though he has nothing to do with Wolfenstein. But just something about the look of this guy just screams, just, you know, badassness, if I could use that term. Again, you know, just come with a little diorama, a little set piece as well. It just comes with his weapon and a little stand. Just an awesome looking figure. Actually so cool, I bought two of them, and I have a loose one somewhere in my toy box as well. Unfortunately, I lost the hat, which is a drag, but oh well, no big deal. Now we'll take a look at the back of the box here really quick. Here's a little bit of his bio if you want to learn a little bit more about Major Maxim. There you go. And he did come with three other figures in this line. This is Sydney Savage. I believe she is from Australia. Supposedly, Sydney, Australia, get it? Anyway, awesome figure. It just come with a very cool little set piece diorama there, stand or something like that. Very cool looking, and awesome figure. This is she just comes with a little whip there, and looks like she comes with a little koala bear on top, which is very cool. I'll take a look at the back here real quick, and here's her bio if you like to read that. Very cool. And we also have Natalia Castle. And I believe her story is something, she's like a double agent, I believe, or something like that. Very cool. These are done by McFarlane, and just one thing that McFarlane can do is cool sculpts. Now if you can get that in focus for you, check that out. Awesome looking figure, just wonderful to look at. She does come with some another figure stand as well, and a couple of knives and stuff. You know, just an awesome looking figure. Take it back of the box again, and we'll look at her bio. And if you want to find out a little bit more about her, there you go. And the last one, it'd be Abby Chase. I believe she is the American in this group here. Another awesome sculpt there. McFarlane always does a great job with feminine sculpts, and very, very cool. And just a cool looking figure. Again, she just comes with multiple accessories and stands and just some cool stuff. Take it back of the box again really quick. Here's her bio if you want to read that. Cool. Looks like a pretty cool comic. Maybe one of these days I have to check this one out. Danger Girl. Moving right along, one of my favorite figures in the Marvel Universe. If it wasn't for Blade, I would have to say this guy would be my favorite, but Blade falls a little bit. I like Blade just a little bit more than I like this guy, but they're both very, very cool figures. You can't go wrong with none other than Red Skull. A fantastic villain, and this came out quite some time ago. This is from the Marvel series here, Legends I should say, and comes also with a cool comic book in the back, which is awesome. The figure itself has got some nice detail, and it's got a cool diorama piece as well, and can't go wrong with Red Skull, man. I'm a big Red Skull fan. I do have several other Red Skull figures in my collection, and yeah, really like this guy. I don't know why, but I just do. Just take a look at the back here, and there's that Blade figure. I have that guy as well. If you remember, I did that. Used that guy in my skit in my last video, and I also have a Punisher, which came out in the same line as well. I wish I would have got this guy, this Nick Fury figure. That's an awesome figure. But you know, no worries. Red Skull, can't get enough of that guy. Moving right along, we have this Dawn figure. Now, this is one of the figures I know really nothing about. The comic book is. As a matter of fact, I just thought the figure looked really cool. This is done by McFarlane as well, and it's just something about this figure that I thought was really, really cool. It just comes from accessories and all kinds of little goodies and stuff, and just a really cool looking figure. Maybe it's the red hair, and that's probably what I thought was really cool. Anyway, don't know anything about the comic book itself. I just thought the figure was cool. And I actually have a second one of these as well, loose somewhere in my toy box. And very, very cool. That is Dawn. Okay, moving right along, we have something Gen 13. Now, this Gen 13 figure is a 12-inch figure. Again, this is I believe this is Lynch here. I believe he's like the mentor of the group, which is something to do with superhero teens or something to that effect, if I remember correctly. It does come with a comic book in the back, which is pretty cool. I guess it's a limited edition, if you pronounce that, Chromium comic book, which is cool. I just thought this guy looked cool. You know, it's got a pretty cool weapon and some nice detail as far as the figure is concerned. Nice head sculpt, and pretty cool. And here's the back of the box there for you. You get a little bit more of the text if you want to read that. And just a very cool figure. And really don't have any other Gen 13 stuff, but that's the only one that I have in my collection. Now the last ones that I want to show you are some figures called the 10th. Now again, I'm not too knowledgeable as far as the comic book itself. When I got these, I just thought that these guys looked very, very cool. It's two figures in one. These guys are huge, man, and I swear these boxes are pretty big, and the weight of these guys are just, it's got to be at least 3 or 4 pounds, man. They are heavy. This one here is Adrenaline and Elastic, and there's I think that's Adrenaline, or that might be Elastic. I'm not really too sure. Another comic that I probably should look into, but looks very, very cool. And we have Esperanza and the 10th. I guess she's probably the hero, or I'm not really too sure. I couldn't tell you guys actually, because I really don't know too much about these figures. I just thought they looked really, really cool. That's her on the side. That's Esperanza, I'm assuming. Nice to see a Latin name in there. Here's the back of the box here for you, and the other 3 figures that came out in this line, and some of the other figures. Okay, and these are, never mind. These are the alter egos, I bet, on the bottom here. And there's a little bit of text if you want to read a little bit about the 10th there. Feel free. One last figure to go is Masticina and the Grave. Also another very cool figure. This one comes with some wings and some pink hair, and just a cool looking figure in my opinion. Again, I wish I could tell you more about the comic book series, but again, I just don't know too much about it. You know, I just thought they were cool looking, so that's why I got them in my collection. And last up here is not really a comic book, just some figures I found that I was digging through this stuff. I'd like to show you. I got some old Lord of the Rings figures. I don't even know what year these came out. A long time ago, probably in the mid-90s. This is Gandalf here, and I just thought it'd be pretty cool to show you guys some older. This is probably based on the animated movie, if you guys ever seen that, Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings. One of my favorite animated films. This is Frodo here. It just comes with quite a bit of accessories as well, and it looks just like the animated feature in my opinion. Very, very cool. So that was it for my comic book figure collection, guys. I want to thank you very much for hanging out, and just lastly, just to let you know, I have stuff for 5 people in relation to my last video. I want to just let you know that I have an email address, guys. I'm going to give this to you verbally, so write this down. This goes a message to Sci-Fi Simon, 101 Jenko, Val Swazgarin, I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, and Boshik71 and Polly Poo Poo. Now guys, I have stuff for you. If you want, just all you have to do is email me. I'm going to give you my email address right now. Just email me and we'll conversate and I'll trade information. That way I could send those figures out to you as soon as possible. I really would like to send them out by Monday, so if you can, the earlier I get information from you guys, the earlier I can send out the figures. So first off, my email address, I'm going to do this verbally, so write this down, guys. BADBILLY 312215 @gmail.com. Now that goes out to Sci-Fi Simon, 101 Jenko, Boshik71, Polly Poo Poo, and Val Swazgarin. Now you guys, if you guys see this video and would like me to send those figures that I would promise to you, I would love to send those out to you guys. But all you have to do is just email me and we'll get in contact that way. That way I can get your information and send those figures out. Again, my email address is badbilly312215 @gmail.com. So the earlier you get in contact with me, guys, the earlier I can send those figures out to you. And it's really no problem. If you want to send something back, that's fine too. You don't, no worries, you don't have to. But if you like to, that's the invitation is open to you. So thank you very much for watching my last video. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I know it's a pretty long video. I apologize about that, but there's just so much information, a lot to get through. And stay tuned, guys. I got a lot more stuff coming for you, a lot more Star Wars stuff coming up very, very soon. So until then, my friends, take care, and I will see you all very, very soon. Don't forget, guys, the guys that I mentioned, to contact me if you want those figures. I'll be more than happy to send those out to you. So again, have a great one, take care, and may the dark side be with you. I stole that from Sith Empire, I hope you don't mind. So take care, guys. Again, happy hunting, and I will see you all very, very soon.